Hello everyone, it's me, MrSneakyy, with another video, and we're getting closer and closer to that global launch. So it's only fitting for you guys that are looking at the game to know what my opinions are on the best investments in the game right now. So stay tuned for the best free-to-play investments for Call of Dragons. Hello, so yes, we're going over today the best investment order for you guys as free-to-play players and maybe low spenders that are looking for some ideas as the game comes out closer and closer to the 28th of March. So here I am, MrSneakyy, giving you all the juicy tips and guides with Call of Dragons content, an official creator for Call of Dragons. So smash the like, comment and subscribe to support the channel, guys. It goes so far, you don't know how far it goes. But yes, we are going to go over today everything you're going to need to know about investments, what you should be focusing on as a free-to-play player. So, without any further ado, let's get into it. So, the first thing I'm going to tell you guys is, obviously when you come into the game, you obviously get to pick a faction. Each faction either gives you wild, say, Bakar on screen, you get either Wild Deer, or you can get Guanwin, right? So you can either pick an archer or a mage or an infantry at the current time of the recording of your starting hero, right? And the thing is, picking one of these starting heroes is quite key because it's your starting decision. So before we get into the investment of what you should be picking commander-wise, I'm just going to start with you guys who are listening out right now. Obviously, if you're, picking Guanwin, right? So you want to play archers, there's going to be a different investment order for you, right? Because you're tailoring for an archer march, so you're going to be more stronger in raids than the mage players, and you're gonna obviously sacrifice a little bit of that PvP compared to what the mage players do. But again, if you pick Wild Deer, you're gonna have a different investment order. So I'm gonna try and go over everything as smoothly as possible, right? So for me, when you first start, the best thing to do is either have a 1 or 2 choice, and this is the best way of deciding. So you're either going to pick mages or you're going to pick archers, right? Both of them are ranged units, and that's what's really friendly for free-to-play and low spenders. Having range in any raid or even in the open field gives you a massive advantage compared to the other players, and it can give you a load of merits when you're trying to compete for that merit score, right? So when you first decide, you can go either one. The thing what separates them is archers, as you almost heard in the beginning statements, was archers are the best units at dealing single target damage, meaning they deal the most damage to a single march, meaning the raid behemoth, and they're so good at killing raids with their single target DPS within their kits. But it allows you as an archer player to be almost always in the top 10 DPSs or in the top 50% of your alliance, always if you're using an archer march. But if you choose mages, you won't be that type of player. You won't be in the top DPS rankings in those raids. You'll be doing some decent damage, don't get me wrong, which is fine, but you're not the same character in that regards. However, the one area you do excel in, and this is the one thing you guys love to see and obviously do as well, is combat. So if you're looking for PvP and you're looking for open field combat, mages are the best units at doing so. The reason why, again, like you can see in this little just area where people are defending, you've got so many mage players here, and it's the range that you have, the mass amount of range and the skill damage, similar to like almost Rise of Kingdoms where skill damage is key. In the open field it's the exact same. So mages are really good in that PvP scenario. So once you've decided which one you want to go, say we're going to pick archers first. This is what we've got. We've got Guanwin right here, and this is your starting hero. Obviously, she is, for me, an S+ character. She's really good in raids for archers. She's going to be consistently used for you within all of the seasons if you're playing archers currently, just because of the amount of heroes in the game. But she does a ton of single target damage. I've done plenty of guides on her. Obviously, you can check the guide out. But once you've got Gwynwyn, you're going to be looking for investment pairs, right? So obviously we have Craig down at the bottom. We will be getting Craig over time as well. You get Craig unlocked really early in the game. So it's a really viable choice to go this route, because you're going to be able to get a 5-1-1-1 Craig really fast. I would always advise as well, if you do pick Craig in the first investment choices and you're trying to just level him up with your epics, you always want to keep him at level 30, so he only has these 3 skills, because this 4th skill is all about engineering and it's pointless. We don't need it. So you can technically have him at 5-1-1 and then leave him at that rate, and every time you level up his skill, you're going to be putting into one of these points here, which are really good for Craig and the Archer Marchers. So it's a really good choice to pick for especially a free-to-play player, right? So that's like the epic choice you can go with. But now we have Kinarra and we have Nico, right? And for me, currently in the game, as you can see, I have Nico way more prepared than Kinarra. I've got Kinarra at a nice 5-1-1-1 state, and this is where I would honestly advise you to go. So if you're going to go for anything, Kinarra is a really good 5-1-1-1 hero. You can invest into her over time if you really choose to. However, I think personally Nico currently is the all-star archer. The reason why is the fact that he has this insane defense break, the amount of damage he gives you through the attack bonus and defense bonus. He gives you an insane normal attack buff and a counter attack buff, and when you do expertise him, he gains an additional skill where when you do launch a normal attack, he has an 80% chance, if they're already defense braked, to do a 200 skill damage factor, which obviously scales with physical damage, right? This is insane. This guy, the reason why I like him over Kinarra, even though Kinarra does have all the most relevant abilities in the game, the reason why I do like Nico is he's going to be the one archer where he's going to be the jack of all trades. You're going to be able to use him everywhere, where he's just going to be just excellent with your Gwynwyn you've already got, and then as well with your Craig he's really good with. But when you have Kinarra is honestly, she is the best archer in the game right now for PvP. So if you're looking for like the PvP element, I would go for Kinarra. But again, when you do this, I just feel like you do lose out on a lot of stuff that you get with Nico, especially because of his trees he has compared to the Kinarra tree. The precision tree here is very powerful, as well as the marksman tree. Obviously, when you do get Kinarra, you get control, PvP, and marksman. 3 powerful trees in their own right. But again, when you have these two together, you have the same talent setups. You can always learn and say you can practice one talent setup that you do enjoy in Gwan. Then you know in the future it works for PvP. You can slap that on your Nico once you've invested into him a bit, and you got him to like a 5-1-5-5 or 5-1-1-5 area, because that's where you want it. You want the last 5 points here. And once you've got that, you're really good to go. But yeah, with the archers at the current status, that is the way I would always invest. Kinarra is very powerful, but it's going to be so hard for a free-to-play player to get her fully maxed out. That's why at 5-1-1-1 she's really good, and at the moment obviously she's not even obtainable in the gold chest anymore, so she's probably going to become a wheel commander. So if you're looking for a wheel investment, this is definitely a really good investment, right? So it's up to you if you want to wait out on the Kinarra spin, but for right now, in my personal choice, I always go for Nico. I think Nico is just, he's so good as an archer. You see, he's really tanky because of the counter attack. Like I said, he does a ton of damage, gives you the defense bonus, and he's even good in actually open field. You'd be surprised when you're trying to just destroy barricades and enemy towers, and then they come, but then because you've got a Nico with Gwynwyn or a Nico with the Craig expertise to unlock online, you deal a mass amounts of AoE, and you've got a ton of engineering that you're actually a really effective open field march at killing down units and destroying barricades and destroying enemy alliance towers within an archer march, right? So that's why it's a really effective actually tool to do have this march when you're in the open field. You'd be surprised now how much you do see players using their marchers to triple hit, you know, 3 marchers all demolishing the same building to maximize the amount of engineering. So it is really good to actually have something like this on your boy. So that's why I do like him. That's my tips and tricks on why I'd be going for Nico. But that is my investment order. You'll be prioritizing Win straight away, and then obviously over time you'll have your correct expertise. You don't have to worry about that. I got mine through gold keys. That's how easy it was. And then I would focus on getting your Nico to 5-1-1-1 first, and then you can pair your Nico with Win beautifully from the early game. It allows you to do everything you need, PvP, raids, you name it, right? And then Kinarra might come out later on for you guys, and then I would then get her to 5-1-1-1, and then maybe just sit on your heads as a free-to-play player, just in case another archer might come out and we might think they are going to be better than the ones we've got, right? But if not, then we've got a load of heads stocked up, and we can either max out our Kinarra or we can max out the Nico, right? So that is the archers covered right there, guys. So I hope you enjoyed it so far. Smash a like, comment and subscribe for that nice in-depth investment order for the archers. But now let's go over the mages. And mages, I think, is, in my personal opinion, are the best choice to go, especially for free-to-play. And the reason is, when you play free-to-play, you actually have access to one of the most probably free-to-play friendliest combos in the game. And this is because you can start with Liliya, which is beautiful in the game, and Liliya is honestly an S++ hero in the open field. The fact that he deals an insane amount of AoE, 700 for an epic hero on multiple units. He also increases his own attack, he also increases his skill damage bonus, and he also gives himself a shield, which is just nuts, right? This is, the Awakening is just, the upgraded skill 1. So that's why in skill 1 mine shows 700, but here yours might only show 600 because it's not awakened, right? But he has 4 of the best skills you want all on a mage. He has survivability, he can buff himself really easily, and he has AoE damage. And to pair it off, he has, again, 3 of the best trees you can ask for in a mage. He has the magic tree, he has the skill tree, and he even has access to PvP tree if you really want to go really balls deep, basically, in PvP, right? And you can do that with Liliya. And the beautiful thing is, with mages, you do get access to Atheist, you do get access to Halloween, we also do get access to Fear, which is a really good mage unit to run alongside you guys. You also get Pan, but Pan isn't really used in the open field, but she is a choice there if you guys can make her work. But I would definitely not really recommend using Pan in the open field. But then on top of it, and the best choice is, we get access to Velyn. And Velyn is honestly the S+++ hero in the game. I don't care what anyone says. He makes any mage march an infinitely times better. And the reason is because he's the exact same as Liliya in his own right, but just on steroids. So instead of doing a 700 nuke, you now do a 1200 nuke, which is just insane. You also give yourself a 15% hero skill damage bonus, which is a massive buff to give yourself. But the thing is, which is really, really insane with Velyn, is the fact that you give yourself a 10% hero skill crit bonus. And don't get me wrong, you get that nice 15% magic unit defense, so you're a bit tankier yourself with your magic units, but having 10% skill crit bonus means your units 1 in 10 shots should crit, right? And those crits do a mass amount of damage compared to the other ones. You normally see the big difference between like 3,000 to 4,000 depending on how healthy your march is. So then when you go to the last one as well, you take basically less magic defense, and you reduce their march speed, right? So you reduce their magic defense by magic breaking them when they hit you, by applying freeze, and then you slow them, and by slowing them you're able to chase them down, able to hit those skill cycles, which is really effective. But the cool thing with Velyn is when you do expertise him finally, you get the additional skills when you do cast your rage skill on the target and he's currently frozen, which is the freeze effect. You will remove that frozen effect and deal 400 damage. And the cool thing is, obviously, Velyn activates this himself. Also, Liliya can activate this himself when you expertise him, because he does the freeze, as you can see, when awakened. So with an awakened Liliya as the primary, and then you have your Velyn actually behind him, what ends up happening is your Liliya having the skill tree and PvP tree allows you to, or even the skill tree and the magic tree allows you to hit multiple units with big massive nukes, right? With the skill first hitting, dealing 700 damage, and then Velyn, seeing that they're frozen, immediately dealing 400 damage to him, and then dealing 1200 on top, right? And that is such a beautiful free-to-play friendly combo that works from the get-go. So if you're looking for investment choices and you're honestly a bit worried and you don't know what to go for, in my honest opinion, start with mages, go with Liliya, and invest every head you can into your Velyn. Make sure Velyn's first skill is at level 5, as you can see mine is, and then you unlock his other 3 skills and you start leveling him up. So as you can see, I'm already at 222. I've hit 111 through the levels so far. I need to get another 18. I can put another 4 in, but I'm just going to wait until we get another 4 of these heads, so we can get him to 20, a nice round number for those gold key openings, and get hopefully some lucky hits and get more 10s. But that is the mage choice, right? And the cool thing is with this is you're going to have obviously these mages still at your disposal. And you also, as a free-to-play player, you also get access to Indis. And with Indis, you can run a Indis in Pan March. And this would be a very supportive March that his only job is to put an AoE heal and an AoE spot heal, and then it buffs the target ally with a normal attack damage buff and the other buff, which is the enemy taking 20% more, right? And then you can run an Atheist March with your Fear now, especially when Fear is 511. And then you have a Flying Mage March that you can use. And then at the end, you have your Liliya and Velyn March, right? So you have 3 Mage Marches off the rip if you pick Mages as a free-to-play player. And that is the investment order and why you should be investing in what those heroes are, right? And I hope I understood that. Obviously, later on, if you're a low spender, you're going to get access to Liliya, and you can spend the money and get her through the VIP system. You only honestly need a 5-1-1-1 Liliya, and she's so effective with a 5-1-1-1 Velyn that it's such an insane match with the amount of AoE and damage bonus that you give to each other. So it's honestly, you have so much progression with mages that you're able to do, right? If you're obviously a whale and you've been listening all the way through, I haven't forgot about you. You can get Hosk. Hosk is an amazing investment choice for you guys that are whales. If you're wondering, Hosk does enable a lot of things to open. It allows you to pair him with a load of different marches like Nico. You can even pair him with your Liliya or Velyn. You can pair him with your infantry marches and cavalry. And the payoff is the fact that Hosk just provides you with so many PvP stats that you want in the open field that it's just so much that it overpowers the enemy. Even you give him a defense reduction, you also give yourself a defense buff if you're the commander, but if you're the deputy and you have him as the secondary commander, you get a normal attack damage buff instead. And then you also get to increase your capacity, and that's at 5-1-1-1. You get an extra 3k, right? So it's a nice overall buff of stats. You don't really need him as a obviously primary. You can, but if you were looking to invest into Hosk, you can definitely do and keep him at 5-1-1. I'm going to plan to do so for a while, and I am honestly loving him so far. Even at 5-1-1, I haven't unlocked this skill yet, and he's so good. So that is everything you need to know, guys, on the free-to-play and low spenders, and at the end, the whales on the Hosk on your investment. What I would choose, again, if you're looking for raids and you want to have a little bit of more of a challenge, you want to go archers and go the way I said in the video. And if you want a little bit more of a PvP experience and makes raids a lot easier for yourself, then go down the Mage route, right? And that is everything you're gonna need to know. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Smash a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, guys. I've hopefully covered everything. Any questions, smash a like and comment below and I'll answer them. And remember, subscribe to the channel and support an official content creator for Call of Dragons and Firelight Studios. Remember, guys, the game does come out on the 28th. It's very soon. It's coming out so goddamn soon. So keep an eye out. It will be open for you guys on iOS and the Google Play Store. I don't know when the PC client is still available or when it will be available, for example. I don't know anything about that, but I know it is available on iOS and the Google Play Store. So with all that said, stay safe, guys, stay sneaky. Until next time, peace out.